Your secrets, if you really look at yourself, you would be speechless. What happened to being doctors and teachers? What happened to being your brother's keeper? Nowadays kids more worried about the...
Hey guys, Jeffries here and welcome to... That's right guys, we are back here in the North City. Welcome back to Cities in Motion 2. This is episode 181 and we are currently stalking, although at the moment we're face planting the side of a tower block, but in a short second you will see that we're following tram number 41. There it is, tram number 41, running on the new tram route 1. I'm just going to speed up time a little bit because we're going to see the new Gloucester Gardens. And I say new, most of it is the same, but there's a couple of large infrastructure changes that I wasn't expecting to make, and I'm sure you guys aren't expecting to see, but it turned out well actually. I think it turned out very, very well indeed. And there's a new exciting opportunity that I've built, which should be very interesting to actually to test out and see how that works. But we will see all of that in a second, because like I said, we're going to follow this tram all the way back to Gloucester Gardens so we can see the brand new system, the way it works. Hopefully we get the good time. We have, like, the way this system works at the moment, I haven't completely fine-tuned it and tweaked it as good as it can be. So we've got some good moments and we've got some bad moments. Most of the time it is a good moment. It's like once in every 10 it becomes a bad setup, but like I said, once it's fine-tuned, once it's been tweaked beyond its limit, it'll work as smooth as anything. In fact, it'll work smoother than the old setup. That's how confident I am that this is going to work. And I'm really pleased with the outcome. It's just better, really, than I could have hoped it would be. Which is always a good thing, you know, when you sort of plunge headfirst into something which was very, very ambitious, actually. It was more ambitious than I thought it would be. In my mind, it was just a case of swap a couple of things over and see how it goes. In reality, I did a lot of work off camera after the last episode. Just constantly changing my mind over things, trying to make it work as best as I possibly could. And it's come out pretty well, I'd say. And I'm looking forward to you guys seeing it. I'm sure you guys are sitting there now just wanting this tram to speed up a little bit so we can get there quicker and you can see it as well. The game is starting to struggle. There are a lot of people in this city. There are a lot of vehicles. Most vehicles are running at absolute capacity, and you can even see over there are 1,000 people waiting for a metro train. Just checking actually, are my metro lines still running? Looks like they are. So there's 1,000 people waiting for a metro train, which is just ridiculous. Unbelievable amount of people. I can see them all filing into a train now, but even so, that's a lot of people waiting for a train. Yeah, that's quite something. Might need to have a look at that, see if I can increase capacity. Yes, this tram is taking its time. There's a lot of people in the city, and because of that, the game is starting to run a little bit on the slow side when you're zoomed in like this. When you zoom out, it's very, very smooth. And really, that is a testament to how well this game was made. There's a lot of bugs in this game, don't get me wrong, and there's a lot of things I wish they would change. And I want there to be a Cities in Motion 3 just to fix those problems. Because believe me, if they fix the problems with this game, it will be one of the best games ever made. Goes without saying, really. This game is fantastic, and the work that Colossal Order have done with Skylines kind of proves that they have the ability to make a fantastic game. But this game is well made. Like I said, it's full of bugs, but what does work works very, very well, and the graphics are very, very nice indeed when you think about it. There are a lot of cloned citizens in the game. That I'm not too bothered with, because people who work in the same jobs, they do end up wearing similar outfits. You can just put it down to that. But the fact that each one of these characters is individually modelled, I can't speak, modelled, like that guy there with the flat cap is walking along with a walking stick. And the animation is pretty spot on. Let's put time back to normal speed again. You can see they walk along pretty decently. It looks like a decent animation. There's a little old lady there carrying her shopping bag, I think that is. There's our old man again, Walter Campbell. I should remember his name. There's a woman here with a bag slung over her shoulder. She's a art student, did that say? Or just student? We'll never know. But yeah, this game is very, very detailed. And I like it a lot. Even little things like the doors open and close when people get on and off. That's a nice touch. Because there are some games out there where that doesn't happen. Train pulls in, people get on. In fact, City Skylines, you don't see doors open and close. In fact, you don't even see what metro trains look like in Skylines. So to be able to do that on a game like this, which is technically its predecessor, it's nice. It's very nice. I like it a lot. Okay, so I am trying to fill time basically by talking absolute nonsense, but we are nearly there. We've got one more stop to go, and then we enter the crucible that is Gloucester Gardens. So far it's all the same. We go under this flyover, which is for tram, trolley and bus. Again, you can see the game is stuttering on a little bit. There's lots of people using this network now, and I'm very, very happy with that indeed. Lots of people waiting at the stops, lots of people getting on the vehicles. And this stop here, which, can you believe it, I forgot the name of the stop. Greenway, that's the one. The number of people at Greenway, you'd think it would be a choking point and a bottleneck in the network, because it is just one stop in one direction, one stop in the other, and the number of lines that serve this set of stops is ridiculous. But the way the timetable works, it seems to have separated them all, and that makes it fantastic. Really, it works absolutely flawlessly. Even when you get the outlying incidents, like here, the vehicle has to stop and wait for people to cross the road, yet it still works properly. There's no vehicles queuing waiting to get into the complex, and that's good. I like that a lot. Means everything is working, and when things work, I'm happy. It's very nice to see when things work. It's not so nice to see when things don't work. That gets me very, very frustrated indeed. But so far so good. Everything is absolutely fine. And as we enter Gloucester Gardens, we enter the little system that we've got here. Again, everything seems to be working normally. For some reason the train doesn't go onto the left-hand track there, and I don't actually know why, because that, logically, would be the way to go, but apparently not. So I might just take that track out and have it for trolley only in that lane. That might not be a bad idea. Yeah, we dive under here. Again, so far everything is exactly the same. Come up this little section here, everything's the same. And just in a second you'll see there's the monorail track, which was built 2 episodes ago. And then, in fact, you can see it here. There's this suspicious new bridge, and you're probably wondering what that is. In fact, no, this is the new bridge. Cozy Lane. You're probably wondering what that is. I will explain to you in a very short second what that is, because actually, I think you'll quite like what I've done. I've been very, very clever in what I've been building, so hopefully you guys will enjoy it. But for now, we're going to carry on following this tram, because it's going to enter the brand new section that we built in the last episode. The new piece of infrastructure, the new flyover slash dive under. Sharp left turn here. Again, you can see the game is really starting to struggle. That isn't the video stuttering, that is the game. It is really bad in close-up view, whereas if I zoom out, you see it runs very, very smoothly. It's just when it zooms in. So I'm going to try and zoom out a little bit just to get the game to run a little bit better. You can see we're coming to the new exit station, and in fact I will leave the tram at this point. We will say goodbye to tram 41, close the window, and I will show you what's new. So last episode we rebuilt all of this area here. As you can see, it's pretty much the same as it was before, except we have this little section, where have we gone? Over here. This now slopes down, and it runs along the left hand side of all of these streets here. No connection to the other stops here. And the reason for that is, there's another stop here, and then it runs up the central section here, and then there's another stop here. What this is the other unloading point. So all the other tram stops, what's that one doing? Route 9. Oh yeah, sorry, I lost my marbles then. All of these have been hooked up, so there's 12 routes at the moment. These routes here, these tram routes, tram stops here that haven't been mapped out yet. They're going to be terminating at this stop here via this stop here, and there's a new ground connection over here. And you know, I just thought that was something quite new, quite different. It means this sort of large curve here now has a proper purpose again, because it was kind of redundant with the new unloading system, but now it's got a reason for existing again, which is good. And also, you might notice that this line here still slopes up, and then it goes along this way like this, becomes the left-hand side of the 3, and then curves off sharply to the left here. And this is the new bridge that I pointed out to you just now. And what this does, goes up and over everything, apart from the monorail track, all the way along here, and then slopes down like this and joins up with this pathway here, which is now a new tram route, as you can see. Cuts straight through the middle of all these sections here, and if it wasn't for the fact that these two bits here join up to the City Auto station, it actually would have carried on straight ahead. But because these connect up to the City Auto station, at the moment at least I've made it curve right and join this road. I could however replace this with pathway and have it curve left as well, although it's kind of pointless because then it will end up doubling back on itself. But I thought that was an interesting idea, and the re-entrance to Gloucester Gardens, it just slopes underground, goes along like this, and then connects up at this little flat junction here. But yeah, I thought again, it means that the other stop has a purpose and we don't have to get rid of it. There is quite a steep slope here actually. That would be very fun to ride in a tram. Quite looking forward to seeing how that works. And then you've got this little bumpy section here, which is a bit weird. And there's a little sign that says no motor vehicles. Again, that's something that I quite like about this game. You've got all these little details. You've got little trash cans, street lights, even the bus stops have like advertising posters on. Roads have speed limit signs on them too. And even things like this, little adverts on the street lamps. I think that's very, very cool. And little phone boxes as well. But yeah, I'm wasting time. I am wasting time. What I want to do today, guys, is connect up that new section of track. I want to connect it to a line really that hasn't been used yet, or at least a series of stops that haven't been used yet. So connecting it up to this track here only really works if I then divide it again a bit later on. I'm tempted to do it at this junction here. This is the old Route 6, I believe. Yes, this is the old Route 6. So this would make sense to do it here. And actually, whilst I'm here, I want to rebuild... let's pause the game really quickly so I don't mess things up. I want to rebuild this first. So I want it to go kind of straight across like this and then curve around and join up like that. That should get a smoother curve on this side. Like that, and then like that. There we go. That looks much nicer. And then I want to do the same thing on this side. So we get rid of this. Single track, like so. Go down 2. Yep, that works. Cool. Just keep it at 2. All the way under here. In fact, does it join up under there? Yeah, it does. Like that. And then put the track in. Again, it should be a nice smooth curve, and it is, which is brilliant. Like that. And now, what I want to do is rebuild this avenue section here. So what was it? 3 lane wide. There it is. So I want to build this bridge bigger. Give myself some more room under here to work, because I want to build a new section of track here which splits off and heads in this direction. In fact, let's rebuild this double track bit here first before I forget. Route 6 does run back to its old underground station over here, but it has a slightly different above ground route in that it skips out every single one of these stations all the way down. Sorry, not that section. Down this section. Skips out all the stations, basically as an express service to that underground City Auto bit. But that's fine. I like that. It works. That's what matters. If it works, it's good. If it doesn't work, it's bad. So if I just resume the game again, we can see that we've got this running absolutely perfectly again, which is good. And now that means I've got just enough room under here to build this new section. I wanted to build for a while, but couldn't because of the amount of space that I had available. What I really want to do is... I think what I actually want to do is have it go up and over, but I'm not sure if that's going to be possible, so I think down and under is going to be my other solution. But I have to avoid this tunnel. So it'll have to be really difficult to build, because I can't build things that are easy. There we go. It'll be something like that, maybe. And then it'll dive under... Could connect up over here, actually, to the city auto lines. That would be interesting. Or I could build it as a curved tunnel under like this, which is not going to let me do because there's a dip there. There we go. And then surface again on one of the side streets. And I'm looking at this one because that runs right the way along into the heart of the city via those tracks there. That could be a very, very nice bit to build. If I do this properly. So, I'm guessing there's no buildings there. No, good. Which means we can go up. Like that. And then... it's telling me there's not enough space. Hang on, I can do this actually. So I can build this. Maybe not. In fact, yes I can. I can build it like that. Work. There. And then curve it like that. And then bring it to here and then up. And that works. Like that. And then round like that. And then connect like that. Bravo. I need to get rid of that mission now because there's no way I can achieve it. And then that will curve around onto this main road. Go all the way along here, connecting up with all these different lines. Very nice indeed. And then it will connect up. Not there. Where are we going? Over here. In fact, it will also go via this section here, which would be quite interesting. I might need to build a diversion there, actually. Or rebuild this. Might rebuild this. But yeah, I'll rebuild that. Don't have any trams going past at the minute, so it'll be like that, and then like that, and stick that like that. And then it'll connect up over here, and then it will run... See, virtually all of these stops have already been selected. The only one that hasn't is the old Route 6, which runs all the way down here. In fact, is that Route 6? No, I think this is the old Route 5, actually. Yeah, this looks like the old Route 5. So that should be able to be connected as well, looking at it. Which means... Where's the connection over here gone? So this runs across this main road here, which is fine. So I have that connect onto there instead. And it still doesn't work. So where does Route 5 run? That runs across here. Oh, I remember now. Yeah. It runs... Oh, maybe I don't remember now. That is Route 5, isn't it? The one that used to go underneath. Maybe it is Route 6. Or have I just found the wrong line again? I'm on the wrong line again, that's why. Good doy. Okay, so it's before Cologne Square, the tunnel. Which means it must be... I've completely lost it. There it is. There. So it surfaces there, runs along like this. Aha! Connects up to that one, and then goes along... So have I reached Gloucester Gardens at that point? I haven't. I reckon I can make this work. Yeah. That's Route 6 again. I reckon I can make this work if I connect these tracks to there like that. I'll go down, 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 get to this section, go right, and then into the new bit. Fantastic. Right, let's plan this route out. Finally. since it's been absolutely ages since this episode started and we haven't actually gotten anywhere. So this is going to be Route 13. Like so. And this one is going to, well, let's timetable it first, same as all the other ones. This is going to be the one that uses that special stop. So we need it to go, let's do it from busy, because I reckon this is going to be a busy line. And then by special stop, I mean it's going to go from this one here. It's then going to use the brand new flyover to this stop here. It's then going to run up this piece of track, via that stop, and via this stop. It's then going to turn sharply left onto this street, and go via all of these stops. Then we go under the tunnel, and merge here, go via these stops, and then here's the loop. Terminus. So now we go under there, under the tunnel, there, 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 and I think there's one more before the right turn. Yes. Turns here, down this way, stop there, stop there, stop there, sharp left turn, stop there, and then we go into the new bit again, because we're going to go down this one. We're going to stop there, like so. That should all work fine without there being any problems. Yep, cool. And then we're going to end there, like that. And then it runs back to depot. And there we go, brand new Route 13. Now, once again, to follow on from people's recommendations, because apparently I have, well actually, never mind apparently, I know I haven't done this for a while. We're actually going to follow this tram on its maiden voyage. Tram number 49, so not too far away from where we were just now. Once again, I'm going to unprofessionally save the game on camera, because I don't want it to crash and lose all the hard work that I've done. Because that is very annoying when that happens. Very annoying indeed. And also, whilst we're trundling along, I'm just going to show you every single tram now that goes to Gloucester Gardens is dispatched from the depot at pretty much the exact same time. The only gaps between them is where the invisible signalling system works. If it wasn't for that, then it would just be constantly running along by itself. So you can see here that there's a lot of vehicle movements going on. That could be another reason why the game lags, because like I said, there's a lot of vehicle movements going on. But at the same time, it is very, very nice at times to just sit back and watch as all of these vehicles move along, fill up with people, and then leave Gloucester Gardens. It's a very, very efficient working system, and I do like it a lot. This is definitely, you know, this is better than Tram Square, this is better than Piccadilly Circus, this is better than the Metro Hub from the last city, the MCH, all of that, the old bus and tram, not tram, trolley hub from my last city. This is better than all of those combined, because it is absolute order from chaos. It looks horrendous when you look at it first time, but once you actually get involved with it and start looking at each individual section, it is one of the nicest looking things I've ever built. You just see that everything works. There's no problems at all. And the number of people that use the system is testament to that, because they can all get to where they want to go from this one place in the city. And that is the main goal of this game, is to move a huge bunch of people around in one solid go. And if you can do that, you're a genius. If you can't do that, then you should probably start thinking about playing another game. But yes, we're approaching the first stop on this line. It means I'm going to speed up time slightly. As today is a Saturday episode, I could, in theory, do this as a time-lapse, but I'm not going to yet. If it gets really, really slow, then I might do. But actually, I think this is kind of a moment where live commentary is the best way forward. I am pleased that you guys like the new format of this series as well, by the way. I'm very, very pleased about that. It's nice to have gone away for quite some time, and then when I come back, everyone is still, first of all, pleased to see me, and second of all, pleased with what I'm doing. I do feel out of practice still, though. I feel like I'm mumbling my words and just mixing everything up, but you know, that does happen when you've been away for a while. That kind of thing does happen, so I'm not too upset about that. As I keep saying, it's just nice to be back. This is one of the things that I enjoy doing the most, so it's nice to be able to just sit down and be able to do it again. Right, Depot 1 keeps running out of vehicles, and I'm starting to wonder why. Because this depot has more than enough vehicles. So why it's running out all the time is beyond me. I'm starting to wonder if there's a glitch in the system somewhere. It could just be because there's such long routes. Vehicles do get bunched up one behind the other. Or it could just be that the lines haven't been reset in a while, and therefore vehicles are doing funny things at funny times and getting caught up where they shouldn't be. Yeah, let's focus on this line, shall we? New line, line 13. Stop at the second stop on the line, 12 people waiting. Which again is good. Nobody got off, which is also good, because I hate it when people do that. They go on a Gloucester Gardens and they get off at the first stop. It's always like, why? You know? Especially when they get off at... I mean, actually, okay, I can understand why they want to get off at Greenway, because they do have lines that don't necessarily come from Gloucester Gardens. But in the old times, when Gloucester Gardens was the only thing that served Greenway, people were getting off there to change trams, and all I could think was, why? You could have just got on the right tram a stop ago. But, you know, people, we've established this in this game already, people do the weirdest things. They take trams one route, change onto another tram which runs across the exact same route, go one stop there, and then get on the first tram again. And, you know, it makes my head explode. I just don't know why people do that. It's just, it's weird. It's one of the weirdest things about this game. But maybe that's one of its quirks. It could have been an Easter egg that was deliberately put in by the game devs just to wind people up. See who's paying attention, maybe. But yes, it happens. It does happen. People do get off after just one stop on my network still. The one that really bugs me is when you've got a fully loaded tram, like the tram we were on just now, tram 41, on Route 1, gets to Greenway, and everybody gets off before they even get the chance to go to Gloucester Gardens. That just shows that, okay, yes, they want to interchange, they want to go somewhere else, but it almost eliminates the need for a hub if people get off at the stop before, just because that happens to be a big interchange as well. That's not really why that station was built. That station was built because I knew that area would be built up around it. And it just happened to be that lots of lines converged at that point, so it made sense to have them all stop. Otherwise you've got through trams getting held up by stopping trams, and it all becomes a bit of a mess. That was why I ended up linking it. I was not expecting so many different lines to end up there, and I certainly didn't expect everybody to be getting off vehicles at that particular stop. It's madness to watch it happen even. But, again, working system. Everything is working, and that's what I'm happy about. I like being able to sit here and have to nitpick things to moan about, because everything else is working so well. I literally have to go around searching for problems. That's good. I like that. What I don't like is when everything's going wrong and I've just got constant error messages coming up on my screen telling me that X, Y and Z aren't working properly. That's very frustrating indeed. Don't like that. And I'm sure you guys are the same as well. When everything's working, you almost get bored. You want something to go wrong, so you've got something to do. You can actually go and fix it. Everything's running smoothly, it almost becomes you can't enjoy it because you're either expecting something to go wrong at any second, or you've got nothing to do apart from just sit and watch it, which even I must say gets boring after a while. Although at the moment I'm still flying on a high from it, so I'm not too bothered. Right, we are just about to pass under the City Auto. I don't think the stops are close enough to actually have an interchange here, which is quite a rarity actually. Most City Auto stations are sort of connecting several tram stops together, so when they don't, it's a bit of a shock really. Same with the metro that runs through the heart of this city now as well. Actually, I'm surprised the metro didn't take more people away from the tram. I know I'm saying that at the moment we've only got 10 people on board this tram, but if you look at how busy the metro is, and then you look at how busy some of these tram stops are, the maths in the central city, everyone would have gone for the metro and the tram would be empty. So the maths, to get my head around it now, it is still a bit bewildering. Why so many people still choose to take the tram when the metro's about twice the speed, twice the capacity, and twice the amount of space inside the train. Because these tram vehicles aren't that big, to be honest. They are very, very small. Even the largest ones look very, very small. So yeah, it's just weird. I just pick out weird things about this game now. I've got nothing else to do, guys, to be honest, apart from the odd building session. I just look around the game. I spend a lot of time on this game, even when I'm not recording. So I'm constantly looking for things to talk about in episodes. And having said that, actually looking for things to record in episodes, considering the fact that you guys have been asking about it, and considering the fact that I have actually been meaning to bring it back for quite a while, we are going to start stalking people again. I probably shouldn't phrase it like that, but we are going to start following people around the city again. I think I mentioned that in the last episode as well, but I'm confirming it in today's one. We're going to be following vehicles like this. We're going to be picking up vehicles on routes and just seeing how they're getting on. Not every episode is going to be a building episode from now on. There are going to be the odd episode where we do just sit back, take a moment to observe the city and see what's going on. So we'll be doing market research, and we'll be following people around to see where they're going, in the case that there is a new line that we can build to make their journey that little bit easier. We will be seeing what random routes people take anyway, again to see if there's anything we can do to make it easier for both them and me. And also we'll be following vehicles just to see how well they're doing. Like this tram, for example, has carried over 100,000 people in its lifetime, and it's in fact carried over 1,000 people just in this game day, which, I mean, that shows that the vehicle's been around for roughly 100 days, unless it's carried more or less. The daily average is actually nearly 2,500, so it's been around for about, what was it, 2.5 times something is 100. That's just yeah. I can't be bothered to do maths at the moment. It's coming up to 1 AM in the morning when I'm recording this episode, which is also why I'm sort of talking gibberish at the same time. But yes, this tram is doing okay. We've got 100 people waiting at this stop, and there's a City Auto station directly underneath. So again, that's good, because City Auto is a faster way of getting through the city than the tram network. But people are using the interchanges as I wanted them to. When I built interchanges in the central city, it was like the tram network was then a feeder network for the monorail, the metro, and maybe sometimes the City Auto, although the City Auto itself was meant to be a feeder network for the metro and the monorail. To see now that people are actually using the interchanges as interchanges and not just feeder stations, it's good. I mean, what else can I say? It's just good. It's brilliant, in fact. It really, everything has gone to plan in this city. Even things that have gone wrong have ended up sort of fixing themselves over time. And there's been lots of failures in this city. There's been lots of things that I've tried off camera even that haven't worked. Some of them I've admitted to, some of them I've kept hidden. Because really I don't like to dwell on failures at the best of times, but when I'm recording a YouTube series, it's certainly not a good idea to be telling hundreds of God knows how many people that I screwed up. So there's a lot of things that you guys don't get to see, which, you know, if you do want to see those, if you want me to show a few more outtakes and things like that, then I'm happy to do that if people ask me to. But if no one wants me to, then of course I won't. And that reminds me, actually, I was talking about things that are coming back in the series, wasn't I? Yes, shout-outs, that's the other one. George De Silva commented on this, not this video, last video, asking if shout-outs would be coming back. I'm going to answer this question the same way that I talked about audience participation. In fact, was it last episode or 2 episodes? It might have been 2 episodes ago, actually, thinking about it. But yeah, I'm gonna refer to 2 episodes ago when I was talking about audience participation. The reason I stopped doing shout-outs at the end of videos is because everybody who commented on my videos had already had a shout-out. And I said back then even that no one was going to get a shout-out twice. I think that's unfair. You know, I've got over 500 subscribers now. Everyone should have a turn. And the more subs I get, the more likely it is that they should get a turn as well. So if new people comment on my videos, then yes, they will have a shout out and they will have episodes dedicated to them. If the usual people carry on commenting, I've got no problems with that. By all means, you will get mentioned in my videos, you will get shout outs, but you won't have episodes dedicated to you anymore because you've already got one. And I should include it in the description, really, which episodes are dedicated to whom. So that if, you know, for some reason, if you are incredibly proud that you've got a video on YouTube dedicated to your good, kind self, then, you know, you can bookmark it and go back and revisit it. I wouldn't necessarily say that me shouting out your name in a video is the peak of your existence, but who knows? Who am I to judge? Right, this vehicle is on the home straight now. It's got like 3 stops left, I believe. 3 or 4 stops left. It's currently running on the same track as, and at this point I forget completely what the other route is that is on this track, Route 4. When I redid the routes, some of them, like routes 1 and 2, they remained on the existing permanent way that routes 1 and 2 used to run on. So basically the route is exactly the same as it used to be, it's just got a new origin stop. Excuse me. It's got a new origin stop and it's got a new arrival stop at Gloucester Gardens. Apart from that, every other stop is exactly the same. Route 6 had to be tweaked slightly because of course it wasn't going from I'm forgetting my words today. The appendage depot, that's the one. The second depot that was on the east side of the island. That no longer exists, as you well know. So it's coming from Gloucester Gardens now, which means that the route had to change slightly. It was almost running in reverse. So it was running away from Gloucester Gardens towards its destination rather than towards Gloucester Gardens towards its destination, if that makes sense. So it was no longer running through Gloucester Gardens or past Gloucester Gardens. It actually ran via Greenway, I think. Might not have even done that actually. It might have completely avoided Gloucester Gardens, completely thinking about it. But it now runs from Gloucester Gardens, which is where that one changes. And I think routes 4 and 5 are different. Route 3 might be different, although I think it's the same. Yeah, Route 3 is the same. Routes 4 and 5 are different. Route 8 is the same. And I think all the other routes are different as well. So Route 9 doesn't run off to the west anymore. I think it actually runs into the southeast of this island, if I'm not mistaken. There's a couple of new routes as well, where I've used existing track from other lines, but sort of mismatched to try and create a route. It's a bit difficult to explain without doing a physical demonstration, but because we're following this tram, I'm not going to do that in today's episode, because we're nearly back. We've got 38 people on board heading into Gloucester Gardens. We head into the left-hand track here, the first time a tram has run into this track. You can see the game is really chugging along, struggling to keep up with the demand of vehicles that we've got going on at the moment. It's an absolute nightmare. And actually, there was me saying that Greenway works very nicely, but if you look up at the top of the screen there, you can see Greenway is not working that nicely. Something's gone wrong there. I'll have to have a look at that and see what's gone on over there. But for now, we're following this tram. I am going to start wrapping up this episode in a very short second. We're just going to watch this tram go through its final 2 stops. And you can see again, straight away, the game is actually starting to run smoother because we're leaving the vicinity of Gloucester Gardens. Once we start rounding this corner, it will probably start lagging again. In fact, there it goes. Really slowly. Oh wow, 242 people waiting at this stop to travel back into Gloucester Gardens from, I assume, the buildings directly below us. That is quite something, actually. I'm quite impressed by that. That is, yes, that is something. Something to be admired. And all of these people, all 242 of them, will be getting off at the next stop. So this conclusion section of this line is going to be very popular indeed. I might need to do some tweaking in that case to make sure that we can handle this number of people arriving at once, especially if they're crossing the road just to help ahead of this vehicle. But yes, I'm going to go off camera now and I'm going to fix that problem up at Greenway. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. Once again, things are getting shaken up a little bit. I've given up trying to find the perfect formula for this series because I think actually me trying to find the perfect formula is the perfect formula. Constantly chopping and changing things and trying to make them different seems to be working. You guys seem to enjoy that, so there's no reason for me to change it. This bus seems to be the culprit. Route 66. If I get rid of that, that trolley starts moving, which means that all of these trams should start moving. And yes, I was supposed to fix this off camera, but I suddenly saw that it might just be that bus. Although, this road in general looks broken. Something's not working here. Route 33 is now playing up. This tram here is running down this street. What's that? Route 19. In fact, Route 19 is one of the ones that comes from Sanctuary Park. So that might explain it. But there we go, it seems to be running smoothly again. So that's problem solved by the look of it. It'll take a while for these vehicles to sort themselves out again, but at least they're on the right track now, if you pardon the pun. But yes, guys, it's time to end the episode. So thank you very much for watching. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, be sure to click the subscribe button. If you have already subscribed to my channel, thank you guys for your continued support. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and until next time, I will see you soon.